Moving on to our next article of the day. It's kind of like a double hitter. First, I want to point off, as many of you may or may not know, this week China sunk a Vietnamese boat in disputed waters that Vietnamese claims is theirs, and they are. Okay, but the very next day, the Philippines claimed that they backed and supported the Vietnam's respect and actions. So that was yesterday. Now let's move on to today, because so they said Vietnam and Philippines together, and China themselves have been battling many Asian countries for the whole ocean, including the Philippines and Vietnam. So this is the part I want to read, then I'll get into it. China has deployed a patrol vessel from its coastal guards to the Sachin Shoal is the latest salve in the sustained presence campaign against the Philippines claims the futures of the disputed South China Sea, the ship tracking data showed. The China Coast Guard ship as a 3302 was at Shengcheng on Wednesday, and it left for the port and the province on China on Sunday. Its deployment means that the CCG ship are currently patrolled nearly all for the hot spots disputed between China and the Philippines in the South China Sea. This happened at a time of renewed diplomatic tension after Manila issued a statement Wednesday directly criticizing China over the sinking of the Vietnamese vessel. Okay, now I'm going to go over my thoughts on this whole incident and give you a little bit of history, so stay with me. So now let's hear my thoughts and a little backstory on what happened. As we heard, Vietnam sunk. Well, Vietnam's boat was sunk by the Chinese over some territory, and then that was yesterday. And today, the Chinese went with disputed water of the Philippines. So let's take a look back upon a few years ago. Words matter, sometimes have consequences. In 2008 to 2012, and ongoing, partly ongoing, Vietnam sold land to Chinese for development. Some of the land was local farmland owned by local Vietnamese. Examples of this would be in the Dalat region. I became aware of this with some of my friends when I first started teaching English and then learning Vietnamese. And then, okay, so moving on. In 2013 to 14, China attacked and sunk many Vietnamese ships over the same islands that were disputed this week. The Vietnamese also protested that year about China buying a port, or leasing it in this case. Leasing it. The Vietnamese government backed off of the China's offer due to this protest. By the way, when I was in Dalat, I saw people protesting over their taking land. So again, it was real. While Vietnam stopped the de-escalation of both incidents, the Dalat and the boat sinking, they did little to prevent it from happening again. In 2020, Vietnam ships are sunk again, but China fears no backlash from Vietnam. The pen and sword both need to be used better. It's like, so, all right, now let's move on to the Philippines, though. A little history about the Philippines. The country was and is poor. The Philippines and the U.S. have been strong allies, but this changed in 2016. In 2016, the president of the Philippines distanced himself from the U.S. and ran toward China. China offered a lot of money and investments for their One Belt, One Road thing that they're trying to do all over Asia. The president accepted the Chinese ships and territorial claims at the time over their islands for the China cash. Okay, so now we're 4 years later. Now, in 2020, while he still loves the cash, he is semi-neutered in his thoughts or actions, as he was reminded in this article. So yeah, his government made that claim that, hey, we'll stand by Vietnam, and then China's like, well, hey, you owe us money, investments, and everything else. So anyway, maybe you have more background on the information than me, or maybe you have different thoughts on either side of the issue. please leave your comments below. I would love to hear from you. Hi. The small clip you saw was brought to you by Loyal World News. If you like what you saw, you should subscribe and look up my daily Loyal World News report for its full version. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, prefer to be on the road, I also have a podcast in every full-length video I put up.